Hello everyone. In the previous video, we have started the second module and we have seen what are keys and why do we need a key in the database system. So let's see what are the different types of keys that we are using when creating the table. So there are 8 type of keys. So let's see all of them one by one. So first I will write all the names of the different types of keys. So first key is super key. Second is candidate key. Third, primary key. Fourth one is alternate key. Fifth, foreign key. Sixth one is the compound key. Next one is composite key. And the last one is surrogate key. So these are some of the important types of keys that we are going to discuss further. And from these 8 types, the super key, candidate key, primary key, and the foreign key are the most important one. So you have to understand these four keys as it is very useful when creating the tables in the database. So let's start with the primary key, that is the most important key in a table. So primary key is the key that will uniquely identify a record in the table. So it uniquely identify the records in the tables. And all the tables, every table have only one primary key. Only one primary key for a single table. It will not contain any duplicate value, means all the values should be unique in the primary key. Primary key, if we have created an attribute as a primary key, then it should not be null in any record. So primary key cannot be null, means in any record if the attribute that we have created as a primary key, it should not contain any null value. So that's a primary key. So suppose if we have a table in which we have ID, name, address, and age. Okay, this is a table schema for the employees. This is an employee table. Now for the employees information table, all the employees have name, address, age, and ID. Now it may be possible that 2 employees have same name. It may be possible that 3 of them are belonging to the same address and some of them have the same age. Now there will be something that will be unique to all of the employees, and that something is employee ID. Okay, employee ID. So ID is the unique for every employee in the company. So we can take ID as the primary key. Now to denote in the schemas and the entity relationship modules, we represent primary key with this underline. So any attribute that will be treated as a primary key, we have to just give a underline underneath the attribute name. So ID will be the primary key for this employee table. Now let's discuss the second key, that is candidate key. Now candidate key is also a attribute or a set of attributes that will uniquely identify the record. So as I said, a table will have only one primary key. So suppose there is a table in which there are 3 to 4 attributes that will uniquely identify the record. Now the first one will be taken as a primary key and the rest of that will be called as the candidate key. Candidate key is also the keys that uniquely identify the record, but from candidate keys, one of the key that will be decided by the database designer or the administrator what will be the primary key. He will decide, and then that key will be treated as a primary key and the rest of them are candidate keys. So it also identify the records it can be attribute or a set of attributes or a set of attributes, and except for the primary key, remaining attribute are candidate keys. For example, suppose there is an employee table. Now for this table we have ID, name, address, age, Aadhaar card number, PAN number. Okay, so these are some of the attributes now we have for the employees table. Now in this table, ID is the primary key. ID is the primary key. Now if you see, name, address and age can be repeated for different employees, but Aadhaar card number and PAN number is also unique for the employees. Now from these three attributes, that is ID, Aadhaar card number and PAN number, suppose the database administrator or the designer consider the ID as the primary key, and now the rest of the two attributes, that is Aadhaar card number and the PAN number, will be called as the candidate key, because these are remaining and these can also identify the records uniquely. If we know the Aadhaar card number, then we can also fetch the details of the employee. So these are called as the candidate keys. So that's all for this video. In this video, we have seen the primary key and the candidate key, and the only difference of the primary key and the candidate key is primary key is unique and also only one for a table, but candidate keys can be one or more than one for a table. And the attributes that will uniquely identify the records, from them only one will be called as a primary key and rest of them are called as the candidate keys. In the next video, we will see other keys that we have discussed here in the types of keys. So in the next video, we will see what is foreign key, what is super key. Thank you.